and welcome back to my channel. Mariah Davida here, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how I achieved this look. I just popped my glasses on, but this is a beginner friendly tutorial on lighter makeup. Okay, when I think of someone who's a beginner, I really think that beginner, especially when it comes to makeup, is very subjective, because I could be a beginner to another makeup artist's like technique and I'm learning something new. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like people automatically think when you are new to makeup that you should be sticking to certain looks, and that's not the case. If you want to start off in makeup and you want to learn how to do a cut crease, you can do that. You could do whatever you want. I highly suggest, if you are a beginner in makeup, to watch a lot of different tutorials. That's what I did when I was learning how to do makeup. If you really want to take it like seriously and make a career out of it, you know, you can take courses, you can teach yourself. I would definitely recommend you take courses. You don't necessarily have to go to like an institution, like a college. You could find credible, artists who offer lessons, right? And learn that way as well. Makeup is fun. I love makeup, and I just feel like I said, you could have been doing makeup for like a decade and you'd still be a beginner to somebody's new technique. Like, I've been doing makeup for over a decade. I'm about to be 30 next week, and I'm still like learning new things. Like, I've always known how to use like cream products, but I just started getting into finding cream blushes and contour like last year that worked for me. So I just feel like makeup is, you're constantly learning new things. Even the way that I did my makeup like 5 years ago is not how I do my makeup now. So just keep that in mind, and don't be so hard on yourself and feel like you need to know all of these things straight out the gate. You need to feel out things for yourself. And even when people recommend products or techniques, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be for you. There's plenty of products and routines and stuff that I've tried and it just doesn't work for me. And I've tweaked and taken from here and taken from there and figured out what works for me, what I like on my complexion, what I like my face to look like. So yeah, if you would like to learn how to achieve this base, then, and like subtle eye and like nice light brow, nothing too crazy, and keep on watching. So we're gonna get started. I would have already talked briefly on what I feel like beginner makeup is. I don't have a drugstore tint. The only tint that I have is Fenty Beauty, and that's $45. So I'm actually going to show you the Maybelline foundation and how you can mix it with your primer. You can also mix it with a moisturizer, but I'm going to mix it with my primer. So I'm going to be taking this primer from Hylamide, which this brand, I found out literally today that they discontinued the entire brand, this line. It's under the umbrella of DCM, which owns like the Ordinary brand. The Ordinary actually does have a primer. They have I think it's the high adherence silicone primer. That primer is really good too. I have used that before. I just preferred this out of the two that I tried, but this is the last one that I have as backup. And yeah, I'm kind of sad that they discontinued it. So anyways, I'm just gonna take a bit of my primer right here, and I'm shaking up my foundation. This is Maybelline. This is affordable. This is about like $10 at Shoppers Drug Mart on sale, and I think it's like $12 to $15 when it's not. I can't remember the exact pricing, but I'm using shade 334, and I'm going to tap that onto my palette here. And this palette is also affordable. I got it from Shop Miss A, and that is a brand that sells a lot of stuff for like $1. So if you're looking for an affordable like spatula, you can get that. So now I'm gonna mix the primer and the foundation together, and I'm just gonna apply it directly to my face because the primer is within the foundation. So I'm still gonna get enough coverage because I like a tint that has coverage without it being too much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. This is from Sephora. Affordable brushes that you could try out would be Morphe. And I'm just going to swipe across my face. And this foundation usually has more coverage than this, so it did sheer it out a bit. And it's actually a little bit more coverage than the Fenty tint, but I don't want a lot of makeup on my face today. So that's why I'm opting to do this lightweight look. We're just I'm pouncing the brush into my face and also using like a swiping down motion just to blend that in. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this foundation down the rest of my face and neck. So we've evened out our complexion with just the foundation alone. And I'm going to be doing a series. So I am going to do another beginner type of look that's a little bit more amped up, using a little bit more high-end products. Something more simple where I show you guys how I like to color correct. Because color correcting is another thing that most people are confused about. There's different types of shades of color correction for different reasoning. But for today, we're just keeping it simple and we're just evening out our base. So this is the base. It's still looking very light, very natural, very lightweight. Now we're going to conceal. Now, I am not concealing my forehead and my chin. I'm just going to focus on my eyes today. And what we're doing is just this look is just something that is my version, basically, that I am showing you guys that you can take from and take little bits and pieces or try it all and see if it works for you, where it's kind of like perfecting your skin but still looking very natural. So I'm going to be taking the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. This is affordable. This concealer is actually $19. You could also do LA Girl concealer from like your local drugstore. That would work too. Those are like $7 or something like that. So you could use those concealers as well, but I'm using this concealer. This is technically one of the cheaper concealers that I have, that in Juvia's Place, but I'm using that today. And I'm just going to take this fluffy, this is actually a flawless concealer brush. It's from the brand Manage or Manage. I think I got this brush set off of Amazon. And so I'm just going to tap that concealer in and blend it out. And I'm not using a sponge today because I didn't want to dirty my sponge. I'm just using brushes for this entire look. So I'm tapping out the concealer and letting the brush's bristles work its magic. So now I'm just going to take the Sephora translucent powder. Again, this is pretty affordable and in line with Drug Mart prices here in Canada, like Shoppers Drug Mart. Same type of pricing. So I'm just going to take the same brush that I just used to buff out that concealer, tap my brush into the cap and tap off the excess, and then lightly tap under my eyes and set the concealer. And that's your concealer set in place there. So now I'm going to take my big powder brush from Morphe, and I like to mix these two powders that actually just happen to be drugstore powders. So this is RK by Kiss. This is their Matte Perfect Powder foundation. And I use the shade Mocha, and I mix it with Morphe's Filter Effect Finishing Powder in Filter 10. So I'm just going to mix those two together. And I'm going to just lightly set my face and dust away the under eye to make it look a little bit more neutralized. Still bright, but not as bright. And what I do is I tap it into the Mocha powder and then the Filter 10. And then I'm just pressing it into my skin and then swiping down. Now we are going to contour just a little bit. I'm going to use the Sleek Contour. This is an affordable drugstore brand in the UK. So I'm going to use a little bit of this today, and I'm going to contour my cheeks, forehead, and jawline. So what I'm doing is I tap my brush lightly into the powder, tap off the excess, I'm pressing it into my skin, and as I'm pressing it, I'm also doing a circular motion because that's gonna buff the color into the area of where you're placing that shadow to bring back in definition and contour and just warmth in places that you would need for when you're adding back your contour, bronzer, and blush. This is my favorite bronzer, like one of my faves. This is the Pro Bronzer from Absolute New York in the shade Dark. As you can see, I've hit pan. So I'm going to take my bronzer brush. This is the Sephora brush that I'm using. And I'm going to add this. And what's great about this bronzer is it has a little bit of sheen to it, like a nice shimmer without being like glittery. And this is what's going to bring back warmth into your face. Okay. And then for blush, I'm going to use Milani Rose Adoro blush. It's just like a peachy bronzy blush, and that's just going to add, again, just a little bit of color and flushness to the face. So now what we're going to do is spray our face and add back some hydration and have everything melt together. This is actually going to be my first time using this, but this is Thermal Spring Water from La Roche-Posay. So I'm going to use this today, and I'm just going to spray it on my face. And that's just going to add back some hydration. I'm assuming it would work similar to like Max Fix Plus. And this entire bottle, like this huge bottle, 300 ml was $20. So that's affordable. What we're going to do is our brows. So I'm just going to take my Ebin Edge Control, and I'm going to brush that lightly through my brow. It's really, I'm not using a bunch because I'm not laminating my brow like that today. I just need it to be shaped like that. It's pretty much as you're gonna get for my brow shape. I am gonna press down my brow a bit though. Pressing down the edge control helps to set it. While my brows are like drying down a little bit more in place with the edge control, I'm gonna do my lips. So I'm gonna take LA Girl. This is a lip liner, this is an eyeliner. So I'm gonna take Natural Cream and Medium Brown, and I'm going to line my lips. The reason why I like to use two lip liners is because the first one that I usually use is like lighter in color and usually has a specific type of undertone, and whether it's like warmer pink, neutral to complement the lipstick color. And then I go in with a deeper brown, which would be like this one, or like Richie or Bribery, for example, from the brand called The Crayon Case. They're all very similar in terms of depth of brown, and that just adds more contrast and dimension to the lip. That's, for me personally, why I like to do that for my lip combinations. So the lipstick that I'm using is drugstore, actually it's beauty supply store. It's RK by Kiss, and it's in the shade Brown Sugar. It's their matte lipstick. So we're gonna pop that on, and it's a really nice nude. And also, adding lip liner when you're wearing light lipsticks help bring it together, and it makes it more cohesive depending on your complexion. So this is light for me. I can't wear this on its own. I need a liner for that contrast, for it to come together and blend with my complexion. Someone who's lighter than me though would be able to wear this on their own. So I'm going to go back in with the medium brown pencil to deepen it up a little bit more. So that makes it more cohesive. But I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to put a lip gloss on. And I'm going to use e.l.f. lip gloss in the shade Pink Sugar. And it's their plumping gloss. And I'm just going to pop that on top. You can totally skip doing liner and lipstick and just do the gloss on its own, especially if you're younger. Maybe you're not allowed to wear lipstick like this, but this look would look cute without having like this extravagant lip, like with multiple products like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my brow pencil. I do not have a drugstore brow pencil. I only use ABH products. So for that, I don't have an example for that, but I could suggest you could use NYX brow pencil. I have used that in the past. Who else could you use? I'm sure Milani has brow products and e.l.f., but NYX is the only drugstore brand that I've tried in terms of like brow pencil, and it's very similar to ABH. But I like ABH brow pencils, brow products, their pomade, their you know what I mean, their brow pen. I use the ABH brow pen all the time, but I'm not using that today. I'm going to be using the Brow Wiz. So we're just going to take the pencil, and I'm using the shade Granite, and I'm just going to fill in lightly my brow and extend my tail a little bit. And I'm not doing anything dramatic. I'm just filling in a little bit. Like that. Very natural. Like you can't really even see it too much. But I could see it, and it's enough. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is just take my bronzer and just lightly brush some of that on my lids. I'm not doing any extravagant eyeshadow. We're not going there yet. I just feel like doing eyeshadow is a whole different ball game, like in terms of I need to do a specific separate video on beginner shadow look. This is just an overall quick look that anybody can do, but it will be especially easier to transition into if you don't really wear makeup like that. You can also skip using the bronzer part and just use your like powder foundation, but I wanted to use my bronzer. I'm going to take a little bit of my powder foundation and just go under my eyebrow a little bit and just fade that. Last but not least, we are going to do mascara. Like I said, I'm going to be putting on glasses today, so I'm not doing eyelashes. I'm just going to pop on some mascara. So this mascara is from Shop Miss A. It's good. I'm not the greatest person to go to for mascara recommendations because I don't wear mascara like to define my lashes like that, because I'm a lash girly. Like I put on mascara to like add a little bit of definition to blend with my false eyelashes. If anything, as long as the mascara defines my bottom lashes good enough, then it's a 10 out of 10 for me. But I would definitely recommend, if you are a person who doesn't like to wear lashes and you're looking for a good mascara, definitely Google search that for other influencers who don't really wear lashes and they're like mascara connoisseurs, because I'm not. In terms of mascaras that I would recommend though, Shop Miss A AOA Studio. This is their volume one. I recently discovered this. This is good. I love Morphe's mascara, which is also pretty affordable. And I also really love Anastasia Beverly Hills' mascara. And also another affordable brand is Essence. Essence mascaras are really good as well. I'm going to set all of this in place because we do need to set our makeup. And I'm going to be using the e.l.f. This is the best drugstore setting spray that I have used. I haven't used Milani setting spray, CoverGirl, or anything like that, but this is amazing. So this is the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist, and I'm just going to shake it up and I'm going to set my face. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I just popped on a half wig, and this is the look. This is the complexion and the very subtle, you know, overall makeup look that you can wear. You can start off if you were a beginner and you want to wear something that's a little bit more on the lighter side, minimal on the eyes, no lashes, light brow, light complexion, like base, you know what I mean? I really didn't do anything crazy, and this overall makeup look took me like a half an hour. And normally when I do my normal makeup routine that I love doing, that's really strategic and just like my routine, for a more flawless base, it takes me about an hour and a half. If I'm doing something simple on the eyes, if I'm doing something more extravagant, it takes me a solid 2 hours, sometimes 3. So this is something that is quick. This would be my version of a quick routine. And just to start off, and I just feel like if you are starting off in makeup, this is something that is very much like wearable, doable, and just easy to transition into. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Please stay tuned. I am going to be doing a beginner series, so my next look will be a more, definitely more extravagant base. And I'm going to show you the types of products, a mixture of products that you can use. I have a variety. I don't have a lot of drugstore items, but I have a good amount in every kind of like sector. But mainly my makeup collection consists from like more so mid-range to like some high-end. So yeah, I definitely will do my next tutorial on that soon. And then I also will show you guys basics for shadow, because that's what people normally want to learn when they're getting into makeup. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in another one.